You know that feeling, right? That restless, kind of jittery energy where the idea of just sitting still and doing absolutely nothing feels, well, almost impossible. Yeah, I think we all know what I'm talking about. It's a feeling that's become so incredibly common in our always on world. Today, we're going to dive into what's really behind that feeling and a surprisingly simple way to maybe fix it.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Picture this. You're waiting in line somewhere, maybe you're between tasks at work, or you've just plopped down on your couch after a long day. And for just a brief moment, everything goes quiet. No music, no one talking, no notifications.
So, in that moment of silence, what's your gut reaction? Be honest with yourself. Is your hand already moving toward your pocket, almost unconsciously, just searching for your phone? It's become a modern reflex for millions of us. That little silent gap gets filled almost instantly with a screen. But why? That impulse, it points to something way deeper than just our favorite apps. We think we know what the problem is, but what if we've been looking at the symptoms, not the actual addiction? See, we tend to blame specific things, social media, video games, the news cycle. But the core idea here is that we're not really addicted to the thing, we're addicted to the distraction itself. It's not about the specific app, it's about the escape that it gives us from the present moment. So, if we're addicted to escaping, what exactly are we running from? Well, it turns out the one thing we really can't stand is silence itself. And here it is, the heart of the matter. When all the external noise stops, our internal noise gets turned way, way up. All the worries about work, replaying that awkward conversation from yesterday, that never-ending to-do list, and even deeper anxieties about life, they all just bubble up to the surface. And let's be real, that internal landscape can be a really uncomfortable place to be. Our devices have basically become the perfect, pocket-sized escape hatch. The second that internal discomfort starts to rise, we can instantly numb it with a quick scroll or a video. They're like an immediate anesthetic for our own thoughts. But this constant cycle of feeling uncomfortable and then immediately escaping, it's not harmless. It has a real effect over time, a real cost to living in this state of constant distraction. The source material calls this a weak nervous system. And it's a great way to think about it. It's like a muscle, you know? If you never train yourself to handle even minor discomfort, your ability to handle real stress just kind of withers. By constantly running away from our own anxious thoughts, we become less resilient and honestly more easily overwhelmed by pretty much everything. Okay, so that's the problem. We're hooked on distraction and it's making it harder for us to handle life. The good news? The solution isn't complicated at all. You don't need some fancy retreat or expensive tech. It's a super simple practice you can start today. It's called the 5-minute cure. And the process is incredibly simple. First, you find a quiet spot. Second, you set a timer for just 5 minutes. Then, and this is the most important part, you get rid of all stimulation. That means your phone is in another room, no music, no podcasts, nothing. And then you just sit. That's the whole thing. You do nothing until that timer goes off. Now, this sounds ridiculously easy, I know, but I promise you, when you first try it, it's going to feel like anything but. Your mind is going to race, you'll feel this powerful urge to get up, to do something, and that feeling, that is the entire point of the exercise. You have to learn to embrace that unease. That fidgety, anxious, restless feeling that shows up in this silence, that's not a sign you're failing. That feeling is the workout. It's the raw anxiety you've been using your phone to paper over. And by choosing to just sit with it instead of running from it, you slowly start to dissolve its power over you. So why on earth would you put yourself through this? Well, because the payoff is huge. You actually start to reclaim your own attention. You become a more grounded, less reactive person, and you strengthen that core muscle of self-control, which gives you so much more power over your own mind and your own life. So, ultimately, it all comes down to this. This incredibly simple 5-minute practice can fundamentally change your relationship with your thoughts, with your technology, and with yourself. It's free, it's something anyone can do, and it's powerful. The only question left is, are you brave enough to sit through the silence?